It wasn't an algorithm. You need to understand that first. The images and sounds you were shown, the cryptic numbers that appeared in your recommendations, that was a signal, a tuning fork resonating with something already inside of you. You were chosen because you are one of the few who senses that the reality we see is just a fraction of the whole story, a beautiful, hypnotic, but fragmented echo. For months, you've been collecting those echoes, feeling their power without understanding the source. Consider this video the first translation of that source. This is not another theory or a guess. This is the blueprint, the very architecture of the philosophy you've been subconsciously drawn to. What you are about to see is the key that elevates you from a mere spectator of the mystery to an active participant in its unfolding. The puzzle pieces are in your hands. Now, let's begin to assemble them.
Let's talk about order. Not the obvious kind you see in spiral galaxies or in the golden ratio that so easily enchant minds enamored with superficial beauty. I'm talking about the true order, the kind that vanishes the second you try to pin it down. The order that nestles in the folds of apparent randomness, in the fractures of reality. There, among the prime numbers. The primes. They're scattered across the number line with the same apparent anarchy as stars in a sky too vast for our myopic gaze. We call them numbers, but honestly, fractures feels more accurate. Breaches in the quiet arithmetic progression, fissures in the fabric of the cosmos, singularities that resist, that evade, that refuse to obey the banality of multiplication. And yet, we can't stop looking for them. We've been obsessed for centuries. Why? Maybe because deep down we sense they're hiding something important, some hidden pattern, a secret rhythm to the universe that we can't quite hear. So, we count them, we map them, we desperately search for a pattern in the chaos. But chaos, dear listener, is order's favorite disguise. Observe their distribution, scattered like grains of sand swept by a whimsical wind, and yet something restrains us from calling it mere chance. There are places where they clump together, and vast deserts where they're nowhere to be found. It's as if they're following invisible pathways, guided by an architecture that no one ever designed. The ancients might have chalked it up to the will of the gods, a divine plan we're not meant to understand. Or maybe they were smarter than us and just accepted the mystery for what it was. We, on the other hand, we keep digging. We hunt for formulas, build algorithms, and stare at graphs, hoping to find the key that will grant us mastery over the secret. But this secret, like those notorious grains of sand carried away by the wind, remains elusive. And now, let us recall singularities, those points where order folds in on itself, where meaning crumbles, where equations cease to respond with the respect they usually grant humans. In the black holes of spacetime, the infinite wedges itself into the finite, and geometry ceases to be comprehensible. And in prime numbers, the analogy is too evident not to arouse suspicion. They do not mix with other numbers, do not allow themselves to be broken down into simpler factors. They resist, like points where arithmetic's linearity fractures, like nodes in an invisible web holding together the foundations of a reality we stubbornly call solid. Because, let's be honest, we don't invent math, we discover it. And the things we discover always seem to be echoes of something that was already there, long before we were. So what is this bizarre, unpredictable dance of the primes trying to tell us? If math is the language the universe speaks, what's the message? And more importantly, why are we so determined not to listen? Perhaps, deep down, the answer is too unsettling. Because if prime numbers truly are fractures in order, if they truly mark the points where reality breaks and reveals its deeper substratum, then everything we think we know about the world is an unstable construct, an illusion resting on a perforated grid. Our logic, our science, our certainty that the world is a neat, solvable puzzle, all of it shatters when you realize there are breakpoints, glitches where the incomprehensible peeks through. And maybe that's the real reason we're so obsessed with them. Not so much out of a desire to know, but out of the terror of accepting that there is nothing to know. Or, worse still, that knowledge exists, but we are not its intended recipients. That the cosmos has left clues we are incapable of deciphering. Or that perhaps, with a sly grin, it has scattered a trail whose only purpose is to lead us astray. But don't let that get you down. The fact that you're here, watching this, means a part of you has already sensed that reality is a little fragmented. You've already noticed the cracks. You've already heard the faint echo of the void that hums just beneath the surface of everything. And maybe, if you're brave enough, you'll stop searching for a pattern and just listen. Because sometimes the greatest secret isn't what's hidden, it's the mystery itself. See you in the next episode.